Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, May 15th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is, it is valuable to balance my physical lessons with my spiritual lessons, or vice versa. Because so often we can understand things on the spiritual layer, but we don't necessarily bring it into the physical, or we understand things on the physical level, but we don't necessarily bring it into the spiritual. And so finding that balance will be helpful. What a week we have. But I want to start with a little announcement. Joe is home from the hospital. He came home today. Hooray. He's in the other room. Or else I'd ask him to give you all a shout out. But I want to shout out the people, so many who have had my back through this, had me on all the energetic layers. Thank you, friends, for so much support. The healing journey is just beginning for him, so please keep sending those good vibes. But this is a positive step. So, that being said, let us dig into this gigantic astro week. Very, very shifty week. So, as of tonight, I'm recording on Sunday night. We have Mercury going direct. It's going direct in about 2 hours from this recording. So right around the time I'm posting this, we'll have Mercury going direct. Now, there is some relief, I believe, in the directness. Some of the shenanigans will, settle down. But this is the third pass of these lessons. And this energy will be repeated when Jupiter goes retrograde in Taurus at the same degree, 15 degrees Taurus, that Mercury went retrograde at, and goes all the way back to 5 degrees Taurus, which is where Mercury went direct at. So it's following the same pathway. And we have an eclipse later at 5 degrees Taurus. 5 representing change. This energy is really potent to have both these retrogrades, end up on this degree, plus an eclipse is like the cherry on top. Now, obviously, Joe and I went through pretty extreme lessons during this Mercury retrograde. In fact, he was in the hospital almost the whole time Mercury was retrograde, which is really interesting. But all of us, I think that these lessons are meant to be potent for us. What have you been wrestling with in your mind? What have you been wrestling with when it comes to being here on the planet, in the physical? What have you been wrestling with when it comes to finances, food, pleasure, your personal worth, things that are of value to you? Any and all of these energies were and are up as Mercury makes its next pass. And like I said, this is a really good time to get it, because Jupiter is like, if you don't get it, I'll make the lesson bigger so you're for sure to get it. Isn't Jupiter so kind? So hooray for Mercury direct. It will be until June, basically, that it's in its shadow period working through these lessons. So just keep that in mind. Now, speaking for the week ahead, Jupiter is shifting out of Aries and into Taurus on Tuesday. So that's a huge shift. Now, with it shifting into Taurus, it is building into a square with Pluto, which is a massive energy that we're all going to face. We'll feel it building, but the exact peak of that square comes on Wednesday. And so there may be some power issues. Again, everything that I mentioned with Mercury retrograde, your finances, your value, your worth, any and all of that, there may be some tight energy around that coming in. We're also finishing up Sun in Taurus this week. We have a new moon first, a new moon on Friday, and then on Sunday we have the sun. The sun. It was like the sun and the moon, but no, just the moon. No, wait. Tripping myself up. See, Mercury's still retrograde. The sun moving into Gemini fairly early in the day on Sunday. We also have Mars shifting signs. Mars moving into Leo on Saturday. So, oh my goodness. Oh my shifty goodness. Lots of late degree planets working us. And those lessons, they have some level of mastery. So right now, we have Jupiter, 29 degrees Aries. That is the degree of the first eclipse. So again, you may have some lessons from, oh my goodness, it was like April 19th, April 20th. You may have some of those echoes, rebounds coming up this week as Jupiter highlights that energy, asking you to show up as true to you. Now, this is also paving the way for the nodal shifts later, coming in. I think it's in July that the nodes will shift, and the North Node will be moving into Aries. So again, really potent energies that are having like repercussions coming down the line, or echoes, or repeats. So let's look at today. Today we have the moon moving into Aries. Finishing up, there's that 29 degree, I was looking at that, the 29 degree Pisces before it shifts, but that's really early. I have had wackadoo dreams, which I have been chalking up to like the stress and trauma of what's been going on. But I've been hearing from others that there have been some really interesting dreams. So this moon finishing up in Pisces may bring some really interesting dream time, especially as it will be connecting with Neptune. Actually, right around this time, right now, it's connecting with Neptune. So, interesting dream time energies. Moon, as it moves into Aries, will connect with Pluto, empowering your I am, but also recognizing where there's some shadow energies around who you are that need to be looked at. And I have some interesting cards around that. We have Mars in Cancer, which, like I said, is finishing up this week. Mars in Cancer, that's going to be at the 29 degree. Extra emotional energy incoming with that. But today it's connecting to Neptune. So really strong intuition to help guide you through these crazy transits this week. And then the moon just connecting in with Venus. Again, Venus also hanging out in Cancer. So we have some squarey energy going on with that, some challenge. It's the challenge of making nice. Here, let's do these cards, because look at these two cards. I love these two together. The suppression card in reverse and the understanding card. Both these cards speak of a release of some sort. And so my feeling is, you know, as these energies are working through kind of at these final degrees, we're releasing some really old karmic energies. We may be releasing some veils of ourselves, some layers of ourselves that need to come off. And that square, that moon in Aries, Venus in Cancer square, this feels kind of like that. It feels like that raw edge where you finally decide that, like, you're gonna do the nurturing thing for yourself, even if it's a little uncomfortable. This feels like breaking through old comfortable patterns, old comfortable karmas, to align dharmically. Okay, so this is really, really, really potent energy. And it's funny because I have the moment to moment in reverse. It's actually, this is the card, the moment to moment, that I was like, oh, make sure you're checking in with the spiritual and the physical layer, because I feel like we're going to feel the breakthrough on one layer, but we need to bring it, like, physically bring it to the other layer, if that makes sense. I also have the consciousness card in reverse. And that might be the thing. I think that I think this is already happening and you may not even be conscious of it, but I think this awareness is going to be coming in. Some of you may have already gotten it. Some of you may be getting it today. Some of you may be getting it later in the week with some of these other shifts, and you're not completely conscious of it. It is coming in. The final card is the Hermit card, which is like spend a little time in your own energy to understand this, because like I said, this is a huge astro shifty week. So I'm going to leave it here for today. You can book a reading with me. I will be getting back to people this week, ideally, if things are going well. Like I said, please keep sending good energy. But I would love to kickstart some readings because it's been hard not doing them, but also needed. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.